Hello, North Dakota. Bruce Moe here with Redneck Reckoning. And I got lots of things I want to talk about, and that's this episode's going to be about. Just certain things that I see that's troublesome in the state, regional, local, international, things that have been bugging me. And right now, I know our legislatures are looking at property taxes along with our governor, and we'll talk about that. The first thing, just a couple things about it. I won't go terribly in depth of it, but it's things that really kind of bug me. $500 to $1,500 money back. Why are we getting excited about it? Because it's your money. Don't no. They're trying to think that you're going to be supposed to be about that. No. It's just like I say, it's your money. They're just blowing smoke up your ass, and like they always do. Why do they have it so high in the first place if they can afford to give up that money? Okay, and it's like yeah, the way they look at it, it's never really your property, is it? Because you always can lose it by not paying your property taxes. Can't afford it. Grandma out in Beulah can't afford it. Gone. The state will take it. Or, of course, they'll go, well, you can always sell it. And that's what they want, too. Okay, caps. They're going to go maybe 2, 3%. And they might do it for a couple years. Then, of course, it's going to go and that's going to be gone. The caps are going to be irrelevant. And I don't think they're going to do it, but they might just give us a couple good years of lower property taxes. But it's going to come back, and I mean, now I ran for governor what a couple years last time, and I sat there and said, hey, why shouldn't you have an opportunity to have your own property once in a while after like say after 65 you've been paying property taxes for 25 years. Yeah, you should be owning your property without having to worry about them stealing it when you're 75 years old. And that's what they're going to be doing, of course. And what really bugs, another thing that bugs me about property taxes is not everybody pays. Like you look at all the money that our ex-governor now, all the tips and the pilots, and basically the gifts he got for his properties. I mean, that's just bullcrap. Why the heck are certain people getting these gifts from us? Why we have to pay our property taxes, or the state takes our property away from us? They get these 5, 10 years, and then another extension. That crap's got to stop. And I know everybody says, well, if they do these great things, if there's just great things, then give the money through the legacy fund or the school property tax fund, all kinds of things. There's like between 30 to 40 billion dollars of money in these accounts, and it's our money. It's your money, or you paid for it, but no, they're gonna use it. And they're gonna exploit it, or sooner or later it's gonna be gone, and it's like you're not gonna get any of it. So that's one thing about property taxes. First thing that bugs me. Another thing, school districts. We talked about that again too, and again, not much to say about it except for as my speaking local. We had a school board meeting, and of course, and for the public, and during the meeting they talked about different things that could be done, but they didn't. Some things that they don't want to do is do any cuts. It seems like making cuts is one of the last things, or the only thing they don't want to do, and that's the first thing. That's the only thing that works. And the schools been paying. I mean, everything seems so outrageous for the prices of everything. Here's one in Hillsboro that really bugs the heck out of me, is that they bought uh, 13 acres of land in Hillsboro that they could sell back. Maybe they can't sell back. Who the heck? Nobody's going to buy it at this price for $515,000. That means that they got $39,615 per acre. Are you kidding me? And that was supposed to be a good buy. I know that was the last superintendent, and that's one thing. I hope the new superintendent says, okay, we might as well sell it back. Obviously, I don't know how much money they're going to get back. Are they really going to get $40,000 an acre? Not a chance in hell. No, nobody's going to do that. I don't know. It's just like outrageous how these things go. But that's our school. All right. And I got to say, like I say, the new superintendent, hopefully he gets it right. And school board members that voted to pay almost $40,000 an acre for land. Jesus Christ, people. These are the type of people why we have elections. I hope nobody got elected that or re-elected after voting for this crap. But I'll bet you $100 that they did. Because you don't know what the heck's happening in your state and your local areas. Okay? Get involved. Know what the heck is happening. Uh, Another one here's going out of the area that my wife talked about it quite a bit, and I talked about it a little bit, is the deal, the happenings in Dunseith. This is an ugly situation because there's so much corruption in it, and nobody wants to talk about it. I mean, it's basically an old Honeywell plant. I mean, that's who got a lots of the money or the parts from it, from the airport planes were supposed to have, the gyroscopes that they producing up there and stuff like that. And what happened? I mean, it all of a sudden it just kind of disappeared, and nobody wanted to know about it. Nobody wanted to talk about it. It sounds like a little bit of lots of corruption. Something happened here, and nobody wants to talk about it. I know the new owner that's trying to put an RV plant up there, Charles Hoffer. He talks about it. He's been hammered a lot by the state legislature until obviously it's getting out now that hey, this is an ugly situation, and the legislatures are very interested in trying to make uh, Charles get back to where in good standings and stuff like that with the state because they obviously lied about things and uh, misrepresented what he was doing there. Okay, but now the real question is not so much what they did to Charles because that was very, and you'll have to look this up and we'll talk about that again in another more in depth, but you have to look at it this way. That was something they're using as a scapegoat. Okay, what really happened in Dunseith? That's a question I want answered, and no state legislature is getting involved in it. Nobody's going to say anything about it. So it's like going, dang, that one bugs the hell out of me. And uh, it's like, okay, lots of people are involved. I mean, like Kevin Kramer, he knew about it. And of course, now he denies he knows nothing about it and it's all a bunch of crap and stuff like that. He says, but he never went there. But he had his number one man go there and look at things, so he knows about things. And it just bugs me when people high high up people sit there and deny stuff like this. What is happening there is the question, and I have no idea. Let's admit it. I mean, it's like going, are we ever going to be able to get any truth on this one? Look, but it has to be pressure. It has to be people have to sit there and say, "Hey, we know there's something." I mean, what was it? I mean, I know Charles had some receipts from China and Ukraine that he found for the gyroscopes and all kinds of parts that they're were they selling them to him illegal? Was it treason? I mean, what was it? Treasonous, stolen, and maybe rumors have it that the parts weren't that good, weren't that competent, but they're still put into planes and stuff, and there's been lots of aircraft problems. And if we sold them to China, they wouldn't be happy. What the hell has happened there? Okay, that's what I want to know. I do want Charles to get back his reputation and his property and all the money and effort he put into it. But also, what really happened? What is the bottom line of the corruption that lots of our state legislatures and lots of our big people in the state know about it, and the federal government does. Okay, what happened there? There's some serious crap there. Bugs the hell out of me. Oh, I tell you. Here's one that bugs me too. Speaking of going a little bit farther out, is international stuff. It really ticks me off because this lots of times comes back to us. Whatever Europe does, sooner or later, maybe that does become our problem too. And this one is in Great Britain. I there's not rumors, but there's been documented facts that tens of thousands of young women and little girls are getting raped in Great Britain, England, whatever, mostly in London, and nobody's doing anything about it. And as a matter of fact, they're trying to cover it up. And why they're trying to cover it up? Well, I guess supposedly it's guys from Pakistan and Belize and all kinds of states, and most of them, lots of them are Muslim people. So they feel that they don't want to be racist. So they're going to let these people go and get away with this crap. I mean, this is what's the problem with us. We're sitting there. We're so damn worried about offending people. They're gonna let little girls get raped. And like you say, that kind of shit will happen pretty soon in California. Why not? They still got this. They got the same beliefs. The way that's what's happening here. You have to sit there and get ticked off. Somebody's got to do something about it. I mean, obviously, I'm not. They're not going to sit there and hear Bruce Mose ranting and raving about it. But we got to start there, and like I say, something's wrong. You say something about it, and that's basically my podcast today. But this is ugly, and it's like it's kind of weird because there's some people that are in the government that really are having people arrested for saying anything about it because they don't want to offend the Muslim people there. And I mean, I'll be honest, this is the way it should be. It should be like what used to be in the olden days around here, too. You have some perverts, degenerates like that do these kind of things. You know who they are. It's just like my great grandpa would do, and his uncles. They'd take them people out squirrel hunting. In England, probably hedgehog hunting. And those people, the perverts, the assholes, the jerks, never came back from the hunt. That's the way it has to be. You have to start taking care of your own degenerate asses. Okay? Vengeance That's your responsibility. And that's what I think the only way that we're ever going to get our the world or every more sound, more decent is to get rid of lots of people. And you can't worry all about offending people all the time. I'm offending people right now, and I don't give a damn. If you're offended about stuff like this, you're part of the problem. And hell, by the way, I would not have any problem with you guys debating me on any of these things. I'd love it. As a matter of fact, if somebody wanted to come up here and debate me on my opinions. All right. Uh Now another thing, of course, I gotta say is crony capitalism. Always talked about that one. That's when the government and special people work together. The elites, lots of people call them. I call them special people, and they work together to take money from us. Okay, and that's just the simple way, and it works very well for them. All right, and the thing that really bugs me more than anything is we have a lot of left leaning, right leaning, big media people protecting these and supporting this crony capitalism. I mean, one of them is in Fargo that's always talking about carbon capture, for one, that is going to be the greatest thing in the world for you. It's not. It's not helping. We're going to talk about carbon capture here in probably the next episode, but it's just a bunch of crap that they can make money. And guess what? The pipelines that they're going to use, you're paying for it through the federal government. Oh wow, we get grants. What the hell's a grant? Who the heck pays for the? How did they get money for the grants? That was your money again, guys. Think about it. Every time you sit there and go, "Woo, we got a grant," bull, you get your head out of your butts. You got your own money back, and that's what they're trying to talk about. And I know they have guys that invest some money, very small portions of the money, and they're going to make all the money from the obviously an oil enhancement, which is carbon capture is all about. To be honest, it's not saving the environment for cripe's sakes. I'm blowing off lots of carbon dioxide right now talking to you. Breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay, simple fact. That's I and like I say, this has to be in depthly talked about, and I'd love to have some of those jerks on 1100 debating me on this. That's calling it out, calling it out. That's one of the real problems, and you know what's really about. I heard that the media people, they think that, well, we have to use eminent domain. Are you kidding me? Stealing people's property because they want to make a pipeline that's going to enhance their money. The oil companies are going to make a fortune on it, and they just take your property because, oh, it's good for them. And of course, we'll talk about, obviously, we have to talk about how it's helping the farmers. Are you kidding me? All right. One, if they do get higher prices, everybody else has to pay higher prices for the cereal and the grains and the feed and the cattle. It's an interesting little thing when you're just sitting there and talking about how wonderful it is for the farmer if it's hard on everybody else. Well, that is a long story we'll get into later. Uh, Another thing I'm going to talk about is sooner or later is the ethics committee that we have in North Dakota. This is an interesting one. Oh, by the way, they had 81 complaints. Zero of them went to the anywhere. 81 complaints written about the ethics problems in North Dakota. Zero are going anywhere. And some of the people that got complaints against them, well, actually, a number of the people on the ethics committee got complaints about him. Ah, wow. I want that to happen for me. Where if I am the one that's causing all the trouble, I'm the one that's making the money, and I get to say, hey, I don't think it's nothing unethical about it. We're not even going to talk about it. We need an ethics committee with no state legislatures in it. And obviously, lobbyists would be the same thing. You know, that's another another story. Is a lobbyist in North Dakota or everywhere? What I mean, guys, they're not. They're in it for themselves. They are representing companies. They aren't representing you. So I mean, it's just like I seen one of the legislatures was talking about. Well, they have to tell the truth, otherwise we're not going to use them anymore or talk to them anymore. Are you kidding me? They're going to sit there and they're in it to make money for their companies. That's what they are. They're lobbyists. They make lots of money. Not so much. In North Dakota, there's quite a few of them that do pretty well. Nationally, they're pretty damn well paid. I mean, you're sitting there and say former Congress people are making a lot more money after they get out of Congress than they did during Congress, and they got the lobbyist jobs. This is ugly. It's a lots of ugly stuff to talk about. I blabbed for about 20 some minutes now, so it's about time I said until next time. But if you have, like I say, any problems with what I say, if you and want to debate me, tell me about how dumb I am. Do it. I'd love to have you talk about it. If you sit there and say, "Hey, I have this concern," let me know. If you sit there and have another problem with any government any problems, I would like to sit there and at least point them out. I'll help you. Okay, my wife does the same thing. She does an excellent job with pit bull politics, but just the way it is. And I will talk to you later, guys. Take care. Bye.